Super Rugby AU, the Friday game, the Force taking on the Reds. It's at Seabus, if I'm not mistaken. So it's in the GC, and it's technically a home game for the Force. Although it might seem like more of a slightly home game for the Reds. The Force are still looking for that elusive first win. They have 5 losses on the trot. A bit of a mixed bag. Initially, I think the first 2 were good. Third one was a bit of a disappointing one. Then back to being, solid, and then disappointing again in their most recent game. So, yeah, where the Force are at, it's very up and down. The only thing consistent seems to be the losses. I'm still hoping they can pick up a win before the end of the season. They don't want to do what the Chiefs did in Aotearoa and go winless. Whereas the Reds, they're a bit of a mixed bag in themselves, man. They played a solid game in the first half last week and then spent all of their second half defending. Managed to keep the Rebels tryless, scored a try of their own despite having less than 20% of possession and territory. It was amazing. I was going to say mad. It's a mad, amazing effort that they actually managed to still pick up the win. So they're in second in the Super Rugby AU table with 3 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. So I've always felt like they're a side with a lot of potential because of all the youngsters they have. So it'll be interesting to see what team from both sides shows up this week. Will the Reds go out and dominate, or will they be under pressure like last week? We'll have to wait and see. Both sides kind of minimal changes. Pet Cow and Andrew Reedy gets a start for the Force. He'll be fired up because it's against his old team in the Reds. Kieran Longbottom will be wanting to try and avoid all the penalties he's been giving away at scrum time. Thrush and Atkins are the second row. So Lee Warner shifts out to blindside for the Force. I'm not sure what happened to Stowers, if he's been dropped or if he's injured, because I thought he's been playing all right. Stunder's still there. He scored a try last week. Ian Pryor's still there. 9. Lance is 10. And the backs still got Kahui, still got Godwin, so they remain pretty much the same as they were last week. For the Reds, again, it's pretty stable stuff. Same front row in terms of Straka, Paenga-Mosa, and Tupou being the front row. They will look to dominate the Force at scrum time. That just goes without saying. Blythe and Salakai Loto, same second row, same back row with Wright. He's there. Wilson's there. McCrate's there. McDermott still starts, but I think Malalua's been dropped from the bench, and it's Sarovi who gets his first nod to come on, if he gets on. Probably towards the end of the game, one would imagine. So we haven't seen him for a while. Jock still at 10. It's James O'Connor. The midfield has got one change because Stewart's at 12, but Fluke comes in to start at 13 because Paisami, I think, has got an injury. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Pitaya, Dalgunu, Campbell are the backs. So last time they played, it was 31-24. And this is what I mean about being like the last time they played. I think, what was it, the second game for the Force? It wasn't bad. From memory, they went out in front and then were beaten in the end. That was kind of what happened with their first 2 games. So that's not a disgraceful performance, 31 points to 24 in their second game. I kind of want them to go on that upwards trajectory, but it's kind of been one step forward, not 2 steps back, at least 2 steps forward, 1 step back maybe for the Force. And that when I think they're slightly getting better, they kind of disappoint the next week. So I'm hoping things can click for them. Not that I have a preference. I'm a total neutral in this game. It's just with the Force finally returning. It's nice to see them back. The Reds, they're also a side I really want to see them do well as well, because they have got so many youngsters. Because I do think Brad Thorne will get things right in terms of his selections with the Reds. Like, he's been in charge for a while now, so we do need to see some of these selections start paying off. I think we have seen that with some, but not all of his guys that he's tried to bring through. So, yeah, we'll see how things go. In terms of the predictions, the bookies have got the Reds as pretty red-hot favourites for this one. I think it's 11 points they are predicted to win by, whereas Rugby Forecast's algorithm has still got the Reds, but only by 1 point. Remembering, though, that system, that algorithm weights the home ground as a factor. So even though it's kind of a neutral ground, it's still giving the home advantage to the Force. So that might be part of the reason it is as close as it is. But yeah, you guys let me know what you reckon about this one. Do you think the Reds are going to go out and dominate? Or do you think they will likely be pushed by the Force because they were struggling, but did very well to hang on last week against the Rebels? The Force, which team's going to show up? The team which has been close, or the team which has been slightly off the pace? We'll see. You guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.